The world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me.
My name is Bria. I like going to pick vegetables at Big Mama's garden every time because it's fun. Bye.
Hello, everybody. Lady Cheryl here, and I want to share with you today how my Calamondin citrus tree that I purchased 2 years ago from U.S. Citrus has grown. I'm also going to share with you how much my fig tree has grown from a pencil-sized cutting, as well as some work I'm doing on my gazebo. I'm trying to set up a new one. Okay, let's get started. As you can see right there, that's me taking it out of the box. And here's a closer view. I'm sorry, the picture is a little blurry. It lost its resolution when I cropped it. But you can see that it was very, very small. I think it was about 12 inches. So now, coming up is how it looked when I first transplanted it. It was a very, very small tree, but U.S. Citrus assured me that it was grafted on a rootstock that would allow the tree to grow very fast. Now, I'm going to show you what the tree looks like now, but I want to show you what I'm working with today. Here's a picture of my gazebo after the rain. The last storm we had blew my umbrella down and ripped up most of the cover on the gazebo. So I got the cover off of the gazebo, and it's sitting right here. And I took apart the base to the umbrella. And you can see it laying over there. And now I'm going to attempt to take the gazebo down. Let me share this with you. This gazebo has been here about 10 years, maybe less, I don't know. But it's been a long time, and I just change the cover every year. And it's not in the ground. It's anchored in 4 posts like this that has sand and gravel in them. I think it's 50 pounds. So that keeps it anchored. And even though the cover may wear out, the frame usually stays intact. And you can look down there and you can see some rocks. Let me go closer. Big rocks on the bottom of that one. But they're 4 posts. Okay, and there's one over, let's see, right there. And then there's one over there in that corner. You can't see the soursop trees are hiding them. So I'm going to see if I can get this down so I can get the other one put up. As far as I could go with the gazebo, I don't have the strength to lift up these containers and get this frame out of here. So I'm going to wait until I get some help. Okay, guys. Today, I'm going to take you in what I call mostly my tropical jungle. Now here you see the Miho Satsuma tree that Bria was so excited to see, that the fruit is now changing colors. Let me go in closer so you can see that little yellow tinge. And show you the humongous fig tree. And I'm gonna look for some pictures to insert in this area of the pencil size cutting that this huge fig tree turned into. And I'll go up closer and let you see. I'm just walking closer to let you see that it is loaded with figs throughout this tree. And we will have enough time for them to get ripe. One of my subscribers, actually a couple subscribers, wanted to know, was it the second flush of figs this year? And they were right. It is the second flush. Here, I want to show you some of the marigolds that I dug out of the garden bed in the greenhouse. I'm actually inside the front of the greenhouse. And here's the spinach that a few weeks ago, more like 10 days, Bria and I broadcast the seeds. I'm just pulling out what is not actually spinach. And then I'm going to turn around and go up here and show you this is the other container. And I'm going to show you beautiful zinnias still growing, Mexican petunia still growing, bees all around it. And I started pulling down some of the leaves. My back out. I started pulling down some of the branches of the banana plants because the okra wasn't getting enough sunlight. So I started pulling back some of the leaves, and you can see them yellowing right in here where I pulled them down, because we're not going to have enough time to get any bananas before it gets cold. So here's the okra, more okra. This is the last of the emergency garden that I planted to help give food away. And I come out here twice a day and I harvest the okra. Here's another view of those humongous banana trees. And I did something different this time than I did last year. I didn't cut them down far enough so you can see some of the area. And I'll go close here where it started growing again. This year I'm going to cut them down a little further. And more okra. And here's the last of the sweet potatoes, and they are beginning to die back a little bit. Emergency garden sweet potatoes. So I'm going to keep them in here as long as I can and before I harvest them. So over here, we are getting another flush of lemon blooms. Can you see that? In here, but you can see here we have really nice size lemons. And here's the lime tree, and it was a little yellow a few weeks ago, so I decided to purchase for the very first time a citrus mix, which is an organic fertilizer, and it's doing much better. These are the newer leaves that are lighter in color, but we do have some limes, Mexican key limes, throughout these two trees here, and then this is the two over here are the lemon trees. Now, this is what I want to focus on. It's like a jungle, so let me get through here. This tree right here that I showed you guys earlier, you can see, I'm going to go in a little closer, and you can see that same little tag there from U.S. Citrus. Now look how big the tree is now. My privacy fence is 6 feet, so it is way over 8 feet tall. And it just grew like crazy. I protected it by having the fig tree that's loaded with figs. Wow, look here, guys. I think this is gonna be the first year I'm actually gonna harvest enough to make some fig jam for my grand angels. But what I was saying was, this fig tree, wow. I'm sorry, I get excited. This fig tree shaded the Calamondin tree along with the banana plants and allowed it to not burn up this summer. And it has huge thorns on it now. So my research has taught me that when it's getting ready to produce, it start putting these thorns on to protect the fruit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move. Let me show you another look at it. I'm going to move this tree where it can get more sun. So I'm going to move it from the protection of the side yard of the fence, and then the brick wall over there, and then all of the structures, the plants that are growing. So I'm gonna put the phone down, I'm gonna move it, I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna put it. The reason why I'm going to move this tree so they can get more sun, because the thorns indicate that it's ready to produce fruit. Now, it can take an entire year once the tree blooms and produces fruit. It could take a year before that fruit is ripe. So it may even bloom during the winter when I heat the greenhouse, when I get the cover back on the greenhouse. So I'm just, taking steps just in case it does. It's right here for right now in full sun, because the temperature is in the upper 80s. It's 89 degrees, I think, currently. And yeah, I'm going to probably top this tree off about 6 feet before I move it into the greenhouse for the winter, so that it can get bushier. And I see some curling of the leaves right in here. I'm just going to take those off, and I'm going to give it some of that citrus mix. Now, the Calamondin tree originated in China and was introduced in the early 1900s to the U.S., and you can eat the fruit even though it's considered an ornamental tree. Most of the trees for home use are kept smaller and bushier. However, they can grow between 10 and 20 feet, but I'm going to keep mine around 7 or 8 feet. But I'm going to start pruning it to keep it around 6 feet in the greenhouse, for the simple reason my greenhouse in the center point of it is only 7 feet tall. So that's what I wanted to show you today. The Calamondin tree. You have to be patient when you're growing any tree, but especially citrus trees, because they don't grow as fast. But this one has done tremendous growth, and I want to show you how thick the bark is on the trunk of the tree. It's doing really well, really well. I'm excited to see what it's going to do next year. How well it is doing. It is so heavy from fruit that is loaded with fruit. See it changing colors, guys? It's loaded with fruit, and that's why it's leaning over. But it's a very hardy tree. It can take temperatures down to 10 degrees, and it can hang on to all of that fruit. So I'm excited about that. And this one can take temperatures as low as Calamondin, I think it's 30 or 32. Actually, I had to look it up because, this is my first time growing a Calamondin tree. It could take temperatures as low as 20 degrees. And this is the thing. It doesn't like a warm temperature. So when we were like 108 degrees, I had to make sure that that tree was shaded, because most people grow them inside the house because they prefer an ideal temperature between 50 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So eventually, this tree may become a house plant. I'm not sure. I'm going to play it by ear because I'm learning as I go, and I'm sharing everything with you guys. So we're going to top it off again. You see it's bushing out here and here. So we're going to top it off back here. And then that way, that tree will start getting really wide. Yeah, I think that'll be a good thing. And I have never air layered, but I may even try to do this to root some of the portion that I'm cutting off, just for fun. I ordered equipment, a knife and everything to do it. I just haven't gotten around to do it. Now I'm going to wrap this video up, but before I let you go, I want you to know that the Calamondin tree can bloom fruit all year long, but especially during the fall and the spring. And here's a picture of it when the fruit is ripe. But as I said, it can take a year for the fruit to get ripe. It grows best in zones 9 through 11, but I'm in zone 8A, so I'm going to bring it in the greenhouse and make sure that I keep it safe and keep the temperature above freezing. Okay, guys, I want you to know that I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to watch my video. God bless each and every one of you.
The end.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye now.